We bring up this trail of thought because a trail of thought really is what your beliefs are about. A belief is only a thought you keep thinking, but we want to add a new phrase to that statement that you've been hearing us offer for a while. A belief is a vibration that you continue to activate for some reason. In other words, while Jerry and Esther have not thought about those particular people in a long time, that's still an active part of their life experience, as is most everyone's past an active part of your experience. Esther laughs as they drive in the monster bus across this nation. It is a rare road that they're on that Jerry doesn't have some memory about. Because he traveled as an entertainer, he traveled by car, he traveled all of the roads of this nation. And nearly all of the roads that he traveled, Jerry and Esther are still traveling. So he remembers that motel. He remembers what happened at that gas station. He remembers the people that lived in this town. And while most of it feels good when he reactivates it, every time you activate something from the past, you run the risk, and we don't mean to sound warning, we just can't find a better word of explaining. There is the potential of this activation because of this past experience not jiving with what's going on now. For example, when you go home for a vacation, home to your early roots, when you go back to visit your parents or the town that you grew up in or the people from your beginning, even if they're not still living where you lived, when you go back to those people, don't you find yourself beginning to behave like you did the last time you were there? Often. Because those familiar faces and places, the familiar food that they're eating, the familiar things that they think about, the familiar family albums that they get out, the familiar vibration of what that was is activated within you when you turn your attention to it. Whether you go there or not, or whether you just think about having been there. In other words, when you turn your attention homeward, so to speak, homeward to your physical family roots, you activate the vibration of that. And if you feel love and joy and friskiness when you're doing that, that means that those thoughts that are activating are blending with the most further extension of who you are, and all is really well. But if you feel irritated, if you feel ornery about it, if you feel lonely or homesick, if you get those nostalgic feelings that so often you associate with home, what that means is that thought activated something so far from who you now are that there is a discord within you. Esther said after a while of understanding this, now I know what homesick means. Home makes you sick. And we mean that too, in the sense that when you activate those memories of when you felt less secure, or when someone didn't approve of you, or before you had figured out who you are, it's a very common thing for you to activate just by turning your attention to something that doesn't jive with who you are. But you don't have to go back home or back into your memory to do that. All day, every day, the thoughts you are focused upon, whether it is past, present, or future, whether it is a person, whether it is a place, whether it is a thing, whether it is a philosophy, whether it is an economy, whether it is a government, it doesn't matter what you've turned your attention to. It is certain that whatever it is, you're getting play-by-play feedback about whether this activated thought that you've got going on is beneficial or detrimental to you. Because your life has caused you to reach into new places. And then all day, every day, you've got this measurement going on to see how well you're reaching into the new place that life caused you to reach to. The best way of saying it is life has caused you to expand. The larger part of you, the inner being of you, has already taken that vibrational leap forward. And if you don't bring the rest of you along, then you feel the discord and you don't feel good. In short, if you are to live the joyful life that you have come forth to live, you've got to keep up with you. And we don't know any of you who can keep up with you when you're looking back. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would spend so little time looking into the past, it would be as if we were born today. We would spend so little time thinking about anything that had happened before, because everything that happened before your frequency was where it now is. So you're just almost certain of bringing discord to yourself by activating that. Now, we know good things happened in the past, and we know that you can selectively sift through it and find those good things. But you are forward-looking beings. It's one of the reasons that you don't stay in these physical bodies very long. You don't stay in these bodies very long because you get so enamored with the path that you have walked upon that you want to record it for all to hear. And when you do, it holds you back. It holds you back from where you're going. It keeps you from being who you really are. It's not good for you, so stop it. Or not. Whatever you want is fine. There are no rules to this game of life. There's just an incessant quest that is within you, and that is to feel good. And we're just letting you know why, when you don't feel good, what's going on, and why, when you do feel good, what's going on. And it is our desire, as we chew together in the hours that are before us, that you leave this gathering with a revived decision that nothing is more important than that you feel good, and you're going to look for love in the places where it is. There are so many people looking for love in all the wrong places. And we want you to understand that where it is forward looking. Where it is where the whole of you is. Where it is where the source that is within you has evolved to, because of what you have lived. We have to make a very strong statement here. If life had not caused you to become more, you would not feel uncomfortable when you don't become it. You've got to keep up with you. You just got to keep up with you. You just got to keep up with you, you see. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. You are getting the sense of law of attraction, yes? You get it, that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. That there are all kinds of things that are true. That when you give your undivided attention to this truth, when you use truth, or a lot of it going on as your prerequisite about whether you turn your attention to it, do you get it? That your attention to whatever it is activates it in your vibration, and then gives you a measurement about whether you are looking at it as the way the source within you is or not. The art of allowing, which is what we are calling this Law of Attraction workshop, is about how to be in the state, or how to practice the art of allowing myself to be who I really am, to allow myself to receive the fullness that life has brought me to allow myself alignment with source. That really is the ultimate being called home. In other words, we talked about how home in the physical sense sometimes can make you feel less good than you felt before you went there, and of course it's not always the case, but mostly. But when you are called home to the source that is within you, it is always a clicking into place. It's always a feeling of relief. It's always a, yes, this is who I've become, and nothing less than this will do for me. So this law of attraction that you are hearing about, and that you are beginning to notice in your experience all day, every day, says that whatever you've got active in your vibration is going to start pulling. But what people commonly misunderstand about law of attraction is that law of attraction is responding to all vibrations in the universe. It's what sorts out the vibrations. It's what makes your radio signals connect with each other in the way that they do. Although law of attraction, as it relates to you, is even far more sophisticated than that. So what we're saying to you is, you've got this vibration going on as you beat the drum of whatever you're giving your attention to now in your body. And you've got this vibration going on of who you really are, who the source within you, what your inner being is now thinking about. And what your inner being is thinking about is all that you've asked to be. So as law of attraction responds to both of those vibrational viewpoints, there is the potential of you being pulled apart if you're not in sync. You see how your guidance system works? The source within you has an opinion about everything. And when you deviate from that opinion, you feel discord. For example, source adores you. And when you're hard on your own case, you cause discord that you call guilt or self-blame or self-depreciation. In other words, when you are focused upon yourself in a negative way, you are performing the ultimate separation of self. That's why it feels so awful. When someone else holds you as their object of attention and they find fault with you, the reason that you often feel such defensiveness is as they turn their negative attention toward you, you turn your negative attention either toward yourself or toward them. And now you're using this experience as your excuse to not see this world through the eyes of Source. And when you don't, you feel crummy every single time. It doesn't matter how valid your argument is against anything. When you push against unwanted things, you activate unwanted things in your vibration and they clash with your wanted things. This is a universe that's based upon law of attraction. It's an inclusion-based universe, which means you can't exclude anything. You cannot push anything away in an inclusion-based universe. So when you see that thing you don't want and you shout no at it, it's exactly the same thing as saying, yes, thing I do not want, come to me. When you see something you want and you say yes to it, it's like saying, come to me, this thing I want. So when you realize that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not, then you begin to set forth a different criteria about whether you give your attention to it. And that really is what art of allowing is. Art of allowing is accepting that you are source energy at the same time that you are physical. Do you? Art of allowing is acknowledging that that larger non-physical part of you is pulsing with the fullness of all that you have become and is holding this position of the best that you are. And it's not just the best that you are, it is the culmination of all that is. In other words, that which you are reaching for is harmony with the best synthesis of life that has been. Source, or what man often wants to call God, is in an eternal state of appreciation or becoming. And when you get into the flow of that, when you consciously turn your attention toward that beingness, and you care about your alignment with it, now your path is never confused. You never wonder what to do. You just know. You just know the thread to follow is the thread that feels good, not the thread that's written down, not the thread that's most popular, not the thread that's on CNN, not the thread that your family is speaking to you, not the thread that's on the online chat group necessarily. In other words, the thread that you're wanting to follow is the thread that feels like it has the most life in it. The thread that feels the friskiest, the thread that feels the happiest, the thread that feels the most interesting, the thread that feels the most exhilarating, the thread that feels the most life-giving. You know those people that when you're with them, they just breathe life into you? They're just tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and when you interact with them, you feel better for your interaction. That's the thread you want to follow. Good. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. Nothing is off limits. It will all unfold perfectly. Our desire as we chat with you from the hot seat is to prepare and shine a spotlight on a more obvious path for the purpose of luring you into alignment with who you are. And we are going to refer to this place that we are luring you as the vortex of that which is really you. It is the vibrational reality that exists before any physical reality ever comes about. It is the reality that is the preface or the pre-paving of everything that you know. It is a reality that you can take to the bank. We are not kidding you. It is a reality that is real. It is a reality that you can feel with your enthusiasm and your love, but you may not necessarily be able to see it unless you are in it. If you are on the verge of it, as in a hopeful attitude, then it will draw you in often and you'll have full view of what's in there. If you're ornery, if you're depressed, if you are in despair, if you are feeling out of control of your life or disempowered, then you're not in the vicinity of this vortex that contains the larger part of you and everything that you want and all cooperative components of everything that you have been asking for. Those are our favorite new words. Your vortex contains all cooperative components of everything that you are asking for. But you've got to be in the vortex before you can see or rendezvous with the cooperative components. They're already in there. And we don't want to hurt your feelings, but we want you to know that often you are the only uncooperative component. And the reason that you're the uncooperative component is because you're still in step one. You're saying, where is it? I want it. I don't see it. Where is it? I want it. I don't see it. And we want to say to you from inside the vortex, you don't see it because you're too far away from it. Change your vibration and your view will clear up. You mean I have to get happy? That's the prerequisite. We know it's a big price to pay. But when you think about it, everything that you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it. So why not feel better before you have it, and then you'll have it?